Tennessee Titans fans, Tom Grossi, the legend, who is probably very happy these days after the Packers traded for Micah Parsons, giving his AFC South predictions, and I think he's got the Titans in third if he's going in order. Let's see what he has to say about the Titans.
Got the Tennessee Titans. The Titans. Yeah, last year I had them with a 5-12 floor with the Mayo Man and a 9-8 ceiling, and they went 3-14. They were the worst team in football with the number 1 overall pick. But then again, you wouldn't know because Titans fans are desperate for the media just to mention them at this point.
Well, you know, I don't ask anyone to pretend that we're better than we are, nor do I ask ESPN to turn into the Titans network and talk about us every day. But can we at least admit it's ridiculous, the coverage of the number 1 overall pick or the lack thereof? Like, I mean, I'm sick of acting like I'm unreasonable for calling out the fact that the number 1 overall pick, who is a quarterback, does not get even remotely talked about. Now, last year, the media not wanting to talk about the Titans, I get it. I get the media not really being too high on the Titans as it is. But, why are they so obsessed with the Jaguars? You can say, well, the Titans are bad. Titans, you know, they were bad last year. They're not very exciting. What is exciting about Jacksonville? And yet, I can't stop hearing about them. When have the Jets ever been exciting? They love talking about the Jets. The Giants. What's exciting about them? They love talking about the Giants. Like, I don't know, man. I'm going to keep calling it out. It's hypocrisy.
I don't believe it. I'm on the cover of a magazine.
And it makes sense why they really weren't great last year. No stability at quarterback. Will Levis was making memes just about every single week of himself. And while I do hope that he gets well soon, they just didn't really find their identity.
He could have gotten well soon if he had just gotten surgery in January when the season ended. He'd already be better by now. I mean,
besides having really bad special teams. And so ultimately, their offense, 27th in points per game scored, 20th rushing offense, and 26th passing offense. All of those need to improve.
Yeah,
Looking at the defense, not any better. 30th in points per game allowed, 26th run defense, and 2nd pass defense. So while the pass...
2nd in pass defense? How on earth did that happen?
Passing defense numbers were definitely better, and I would say their secondary is not too bad. A lot of the times also is because the field was cut so short because their special teams were so bad, but
he's right. Some of these statistics about the defense look good on paper, but when you do a little digging into the weeds, you see, special teams gave up huge returns. Will Levis threw a bunch of not pick sixes, but picks that set up the other team well into Titan territory. But also, I'll be fair, there are some statistics about the Titans defense that look bad, like most points given up are not well in terms of points given up. Okay, I understand that is not good, but how many times was the other team set up inside the 20 to start their drive, right?
Watch some Titans games, which if you did, I'm so sorry, Titans fans. And looking at their offseason, they brought in Xavier Woods. Dan Moore Jr. was the big move on the offensive line. We'll see if that's going to pay off, but that O-line had to get better. And they drafted edge and safety while, of course, drafting Cam Ward 1 overall.
Sure.
And I really hope that Cam Ward does well. While Traylon Burks just got released, he wasn't making a huge difference on the team. That just kind of was sad because the whole A.J. Brown thing. But taking a look at the Titans schedule, I don't think it's as difficult as the Colts. Taking a look at some of their home games, the Rams are going to be difficult. The Chargers, of course, are going to play the Texans and Jaguars as well. The Seahawks, the Chiefs. I see those as the toughest games.
Here's the thing. Like, if they get through that first month of the season and they're 2-2, I'd be thrilled. If you're 2-2 coming out of these first 4 games, because let's say you can beat the Colts, that's your easiest game of the first month by far. If you can beat the Colts and then find a way to beat one of these 3, the Broncos, Rams, or Texans. Like, if you can find a way to just sneak one of those, if you're 2-2 coming out of the first month, thrilled. I would be thrilled.
Then looking away, they got the 49ers, they got the Cardinals, and then the Broncos. And again, you still have the Texans, but the Broncos is a tough place to play. They're doing it week 1, and it's with a rookie quarterback against a very good defense. So that might cause some trouble. But ultimately, looking at where they could be, I have them at a 5-12 floor, and I have them at an 8-9 ceiling.
Woo!
If Cam Ward is...
my gosh. Okay, that floor, I can't believe the floor is not lower. I mean, they were 3-14 last year. I would have probably had the floor at 3-14 again. I would have probably put the floor at 3-14. The ceiling, I agree with. I would say 8-9. You could talk me into 9-8 as the absolute ceiling. If everything goes great, Cam Ward is a stud of all studs his rookie year. Like, you could talk me into going 9-8 with the ceiling. 3-14. It's a huge difference, but I don't think he's out of line.
It's good. Then who cares about my predictions? Because then you have your franchise quarterback. But there are a lot of things that have to improve about the Titans, and I don't know if this is all happening in 1 year. If you find your franchise QB, it makes these problems a lot less difficult. But that being said, I wish you nothing but the best, Titans fans.
Thank you.
It might be a tough season, but hey, I hope you found your quarterback.
That's kind of the general consensus. And like he said, no matter what the record is, if you find out Cam Ward, and who knows if you can find out in year 1, but if you can walk out of this season saying, hey, we got a guy under center, that's a win. Let's see. He's got the ceiling for the Colts at 9-8 and the floor at 5-12. So around the same as the Titans. Not offended by that. The Texans, he's got the ceiling at 11-6, the floor at 8-9. I would put the floor probably if the Texans, you're talking about the floor, you're talking about the worst possible thing they could do. I'd say 7-10. I'd say maybe one game worse. Ceiling feels about right. And then Jacksonville, since Jacksonville's last, does that mean he thinks they're going to win the division? He's got their ceiling at 10-7, floor at 7-10. I would have their floor lower by at least a couple games. I would have Jacksonville's floor lower by a couple games. But as you can see, he's got Texans number 1, Jags 2, Colts 3, Titans 4. You can't get mad at people for suggesting the Titans will be last. You were 3-14 last year. You're rebuilding your roster. You're in the very early stages of doing that. It's not disrespectful for people to think you are going to come in last in the division. Like, the good news is it's a bad division. So, if you're better than people think, and these other teams are not as good as people think, which is not unforeseen with Daniel Jones' Colts, the Jaguars, and Houston, who seemed to regress a little bit last year. That's what's great about being in the AFC South is that, I don't think we have a prayer of getting into the wild card race, but the AFC South's always open for business, baby. Tighten up.